Apparently my 20M girlfriend, 21F, and of 1 year told her friends explicit details about our sexual life, including the fact that I was a virgin when we began dating and she joked about it. I feel deeply hurt personally, though I'm unsure if my feelings are justified. All this began last Friday night. One of my girlfriend's closest friends had just returned from a trip abroad, so they were all going out to celebrate. Initially, they planned a party or something similar, but then decided to go to a restaurant together and later return to one of the friends' houses to watch movies or whatever other activities they do. I have no idea. Basically, it was meant to be a girls' night out, and there were 12 of them. I think my older sister, who is a close friend of my girlfriend and part of her inner circle, was going along with them. It sounded like they were going to have fun, and I wished them well. Well, since both my girlfriend and my sister were going, my girlfriend was at my house beforehand and my sister drove her to the restaurant where they were all meeting up. My sister was supposed to drop her off at her home afterward, and then come back to our home. We both live with our parents. At least that was the plan. They left around 6 p.m., and I wasn't really expecting my sister back until around midnight or 1 a.m. or so, unless she ended up sleeping over there. Instead, she returned on her own at around 9:30 to 10 p.m. and seemed really angry and in a horrible mood. We asked her what happened, and she said she was just really tired and not in the mood. I inquired if she had dropped my girlfriend off at her place, and she said she can take a taxi. It was really strange because she seemed visibly angry, and I know my sister. She's not the type of person to get angry easily. She was even slamming doors and stuff. The next day, she was in a somewhat better mood, but still kind of angry. I asked what the issue was. She declined to discuss it, saying it was nothing and that she had just been a bit exhausted the previous night. Maybe feeling a little unwell the next day on Sunday. She opened up. She said, "Look, something happened the other day when I was out with your girlfriend and her friends." I said, I knew it. She said, "You won't like what you're going to hear, but you need to hear it anyway." My mind was like, oh shucks. Is she cheating? That was the first thought I had. She proceeded to tell me about the entire evening, how they had gone to the restaurant and had a good time. They went back home and apparently started watching a movie but didn't enjoy it, so they didn't finish it. They couldn't decide on another movie to watch, so they started drinking and gossiping. They began gossiping about past and present boyfriends, relationships, and smex. She said, "Your girlfriend maybe drank a bit too much and started revealing too much information about your stuff she shouldn't have." I said, "What sort of stuff?" She said, "You don't want to know." I said, "You can't just start telling me that and then stop." What did she say? She said, "I really didn't want to talk about this, but you want to know, and you probably have a right to." And she proceeded to tell me the stuff my semi-drunk girlfriend had said about me. Apparently, she was making jokes about how when we first started dating I was a virgin and had no knowledge or experience of smex, mocking my inexperience and awkward attempts. My girlfriend also apparently made fun of the shape of my meat. It has a peculiar thing where it bends to the side. I never really felt self-conscious about it because I thought it was something most girls wouldn't care about, and my girlfriend never mentioned it. But now I feel incredibly self-conscious, and apparently, I come too quickly and make strange sounds when I do. I was like, what the F? Why was she even talking about this? How drunk was she? Apparently, she wasn't even that drunk. She'd had a few drinks, but not too many. I told my sister, "Why did you have to tell me all this? I wish you hadn't. Now I just feel hurt." She said, "I felt you have a right to know your girlfriend is saying this stuff. I just couldn't stand being in the same room as her when she was saying it all. That is why I was so angry and left early." She seemed to feel relieved after sharing that, but I couldn't understand why she was so furious about it. My girlfriend had been saying all that stuff about me and revealing all those private details about me, and sure, I was hurt by it, but I had no idea why she had gotten so angry from all of it. It made no sense. Someone explain this. I feel hurt, honestly kind of dismayed. Like I feel like all this stuff my girlfriend never brought up with me, she just jokes about in front of other people. Is it right for me to be upset about this? Is it right for me to be hurt, or am I overreacting? Was it fair for her to talk about that sort of stuff in front of other girls, even if they were all gossiping? Should I bring this up with her and tell her that it really hurts me? What if she tells me to just get over it? Should I just forget about it and move on because it's no big deal even though I feel it's a big deal to me? Am I being too sensitive? Update 1. It's been a really eventful week. It's had its ups and downs. A bit chaotic at times, but now things have settled. I finally have time to write this update in full. Some of you were really supportive in the last one. Some of you a bit less so, but that's okay. I appreciate all your advice. Hope this update can clear things up. After I found out from my sister what my girlfriend had said, I was feeling pretty down. I felt quite a hit to my view of myself. Like the entire time my girlfriend had seen me with less respect than I thought she did. Did she look down on me because I was a virgin? Did she truly believe I was that terrible when we shared intimate moments that she thought it was worth mocking me to her friends? Or is that just what all girls do? I hope not. I was feeling fairly insecure about my schlong as well. I never considered it abnormal. I thought the slight curve was just a feature. I didn't know it was something a girl would ever be disturbed by. I wasn't even aware of how irregular it was. I haven't seen many embarrassingly, but I looked at a few photos of schlongs on Google and searched whether there was anything wrong with me or if it was any abnormal medical condition. I eventually realized I was overreacting about it all, but still my self-esteem did suffer a momentary hit. I realized I had to address it with my girlfriend the more I pondered over it and intensely analyzed myself, my actions, and behaviors the more I began to question my own perception of myself. Was I overreacting? Perhaps, probably, but I had opened up to my girlfriend in a way I'd never done with anyone else before. I had trusted her by letting her be the first person I ever slept with, and I felt hurt and betrayed that she would talk about my initial lack of sexual skills to her friends. I mean, everyone is bad at smex initially, right? Surely it's not just me, and even if I was, she never mentioned it. I'd rather know so I could improve than just be a joke for her to share with her friends. I clearly care about her a lot. I wish she discussed these things with me, not with others. I was feeling really down and uncertain about myself, to say the least. My first instinct was wrongly to blame the messenger. I began badgering my sister with inquiries about exactly what my girlfriend had said. She was hesitant to tell me, but I insisted, explaining that I needed the precise details because I planned to address it with my girlfriend. My sister felt awkward about the situation, but I persisted and she reiterated everything she had previously told me regarding my girlfriend's words. I asked my sister if it was all right if when confronting my girlfriend I mentioned that she was the one who informed me. My sister sighed and conceded, reasoning that my girlfriend would likely assume that anyway. I asked her, "Are you sure it's right for me to confront her about this?" My sister responded, "Yes, if you believe that is what you need to do, but promise you won't stay with her just because she's your first or you feel obligated to. I've seen you upset all day because of what she said, and I don't think she deserves you back." Then I started venting my frustration at my sister. I got very angry, blaming her for telling me and saying I would have been better off if she hadn't told me. My sister initially apologized and left it at that. I continued harassing her about it, placing blame on her while she stayed silent and visibly frustrated, eventually storming upstairs to her room. I followed her and kept badgering her, asking, "Why did you have to tell me, and why did you think I needed to know something like that?" I definitely overstepped and she opened the door, shouting at me something like, "Oh, I don't know, maybe because I love you. Did you consider that, you effing idiot?" F me for trying to look out for you when she clearly has no respect for you. But no, go running to her. She's exactly what you deserve. She called me a effing idiot multiple times and slammed the door in my face. I tried knocking on the door and attempted to open it, but she had locked it and was playing very loud music from inside. She didn't come out of her bedroom for the remainder of the day, and I felt truly awful. I experienced guilt and felt terrible for lashing out at her like that. I know I was completely in the wrong. I know you're going to criticize me in the comments section for that, and go ahead. I deserve it. I acted foolishly and was a horrible person for attacking the one individual who supported me through all of this. I wasn't thinking clearly, and I had obviously hurt the person closest to me. I decided I needed to confront my girlfriend about this, so I called her the next day. She seemed to be in a good mood, happy to hear from me, she mentioned. I hadn't called in a while, and she had been waiting for me to reach out. We met up for lunch, and I kept waiting for the appropriate moment to bring it up, but I couldn't. She asked if she could stay at my place for the afternoon before heading back home. I agreed. Apparently her parents were hosting some people that afternoon, and she didn't want to be around. We were sitting at home, and I decided to finally mention the issue. My sister was upstairs in her bedroom listening to music quite loudly, and I figured she wouldn't come down or anything. I said to my girlfriend, "Look, I don't know how to bring this up, but there's something that's really been bothering me. Some things that you apparently said about me." I proceeded to tell her about the comments she'd allegedly made to her friends. Her response was, "That's it. I could tell something's been bothering you. Is that really it?" She then proceeded to dismiss it, saying she couldn't believe I was upset about that. I told her that she knows I care deeply about what she says about me, and I was really hurt by all the things she said. "I think an apology is necessary." She said, "Fine, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that." She promised she wouldn't do it again and hadn't realized it would affect me so much. However, she then began dismissing it again, saying it was silly to be upset because girls talk about this sort of stuff with each other and tease their boyfriends behind their backs all the time. It's just being playful. I told her it was hurtful to me, and she responded with a sarcastic, off face, seeming to laugh at the situation. She then asked how I found out. I said that sometimes when you talk about someone in front of others, it can easily get back to them. Her immediate response was, "It was your sister, wasn't it?" I said maybe she should have thought about that before talking about someone in front of their sister. She reacted by saying, "I knew it. That jerk. I hate having her around anyway. She always acts like she's so moral and better than everyone." I told her to stop talking about my sister that way. My girlfriend continued to complain about my sister, twisting the situation to blame her, saying that none of this would have happened. and I would never have found out if my sister hadn't told me. I told her my sister was just looking out for me and shouldn't be blamed. My girlfriend responded, "Do you really believe that? Your sister always pretends to be so moral but loves creating drama. Why else do you think she told you?" I told her that wasn't true and that my sister just cared about my feelings. My girlfriend said, "If she cared about your feelings, she wouldn't have told you." Then she started asking if my sister was home. I said she was upstairs in her room, but it wasn't a good time to bring this up with her, so my girlfriend and I stayed in the living room. Eventually, my sister came downstairs and called my name, saying she needed to talk to me about something important. When she saw my girlfriend and me sitting together, there was a very cold silence between them. There was some small talk, but it was quite uncomfortable. Then my girlfriend started by asking, "What gives you the right to interfere in the relationship between me and my boyfriend?" My sister was shocked and didn't reply. My girlfriend continued, "Don't act like you don't know what you did. I know you enjoy stirring up trouble." She began accusing my sister of being a terrible friend and said she shouldn't attend girls' nights if she couldn't keep her mouth shut. I had to step in and said that was enough, but my girlfriend didn't stop. It escalated into a full-blown argument, mostly with my girlfriend relentlessly attacking my sister. My sister's eyes filled with tears, and she turned to me, saying, "Why don't you stand up for me? She's a jerk. Can't you hear what she's saying? Why are you even with her?" At that point, my girlfriend said she couldn't take it anymore and had to leave. Before she left, I asked to speak with her. I broke up with her, not providing a detailed reason. I simply said I felt things weren't working out and it was better for everyone if we ended our relationship. She was really hurt and didn't seem to understand why. I told her that because of everything that had happened recently, including the hostility between her and my sister, I didn't think I could be with her. She was incredibly upset, but seemed to understand. My girlfriend said maybe we can still be friends. I said maybe we'll see, but we just need some time apart now. We hugged and kissed one last time, said goodbye, and she went on her way. My sister had disappeared. I assumed she was back in her bedroom. I went upstairs and found her just sitting on her bed, listening to music and staring at the floor. I sat beside her and tried to comfort her. I told her I was sorry for everything, including lashing out at her earlier and trying to blame things on her. I basically told her I was incredibly sorry for everything that had happened and for my girlfriend's behavior towards her. Just then, she said that my girlfriend was right, that she's an idiot who always sticks her nose in everything, trying to make things better but should have just kept her mouth shut. I told her that she had done the right thing and that I knew she was just looking out for me like any sibling would. I told her I'd broken up with my girlfriend just minutes earlier. She said she thought I did the right thing. I apologized for her having to endure all that and gave her a hug, asking if there was anything I could do to thank her. She told me she just wanted to see me smile more often. In the next few days, she seemed kind of depressed and dreary, not leaving the house much. She tried to put on a brave face and smile when she could, but I knew something was up. On Friday afternoon, I noticed she was sitting at home, eating chips and watching cartoons on TV in old, dirty clothes. It looked like she hadn't showered in a while, and her hair was dirty. I asked her what was up, and she said nothing. I reminded her that she was supposed to go out with her friends again on Friday to a restaurant, like she had the previous week. She said not anymore. I asked why not, and she responded that her friends had officially disinvited her. I reacted by saying that it was horrible and asked how friends could do that. She said she didn't think they were her friends anymore. All the girls she had gone with last week had stopped responding to her and were ignoring her. Some had deleted her on social media and were basically giving her the cold shoulder. Apparently, they really hated the fact that she had spoiled the gossip of their girls' night, and virtually all the girls in that social circle followed my girlfriend's lead. So when my girlfriend cut my sister out of her life, they did the same. I was stunned and couldn't believe that so-called friends would do such a thing over one incident. She just shrugged and didn't seem to care. I lamented over the fact that all of this had happened to her just because she chose to stand up for me and tell me the things my girlfriend had been saying about me. My sister just shrugged in response. I told her I was sorry and felt this was partially my fault. I said I didn't understand how she could still not regret having told me all this. She said, "Why would I regret it? I don't care about them. You mean more to me. I'll find other friends after all." I told her that was an incredibly nice thing to say and hugged her. I sat down and asked her what she was watching, but she didn't seem very interested. She said she had had a lot of fun with them last time and kind of felt sad that they were all having fun without her while she was stuck at home like a loser. Friday nights were sort of a thing for her and the girls when they'd regularly go out. So it was understandable she'd feel upset that she no longer had that and had lost a bunch of friends. I asked her what restaurant they were going to, and she told me they normally went to the same one each week. Apparently, it was a really fancy place. I said, "Screw it. She doesn't have to stay at home. I'll take her somewhere even better." At first, she thought I was kidding, but I told her I was serious. We got dressed, and I drove us to a new place I hadn't been to before. It was expensive. I spent over $200 on the two of us, but it was worth it. We had a great time, and the food was excellent. At least she didn't feel so down afterward. I still feel awful about the way I initially handled things, ashamed of my misplaced anger and how I was rude and careless. Honestly, I think I'm much better off after breaking up with my girlfriend. I expected to feel down and regretful right afterward, but with each passing day, I'm more confident that I made the right choice.